Hello, Hawks! I'm so excited to make artwork with you again today. Here are a few things about e-learning art lessons before we begin. First, use whatever supplies you can find around the house and use your imagination. If you are missing one of the supplies that are on my list, or you have a supply that you would like to use more than some of the supplies on my list, you're welcome to do so. During this time of e-learning, we need to be flexible about what materials we use. Use your imagination. Maybe there's a recyclable material that would be a good substitute for one of the supplies. You don't have to do the lesson in one sitting. If you need to take a break and walk away and come back another day, you are more than welcome to. These are learning enrichment activities. If they don't look perfect or they aren't complete, that is okay. I just want to give you guys an opportunity to explore the ideas we're talking about in class in a creative, fun way. Our IB connection for this lesson, second grade, is how we organize ourselves. Where you live affects how you live. Our learning target today is, today I am learning, how to use words and art to organize our thoughts and emotions. Pause this video and watch this trailer for the children's book, The Word Collector, written and illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds. Then answer these questions below. For your project today, we will need 2 pieces of paper and a drawing tool. Your art challenge today is to think about where you are learning right now. On the 2 pieces of paper, write down your feelings about where you are learning or where you are doing school. Feel free to add color, patterns, or designs to those 2 pieces of paper. You'll weave them together to make a book cover, just like we wove together the warm and cool colors in class. And then you will have the option to turn your weaving into a portfolio or a sketchbook. In the middle is my example that I will give you a demonstration with in just a moment. Once you're done with your artwork, I am inviting you to reflect and share. You may either be a risk taker and take a picture of your artwork and share it on our special Seesaw Share Space. And if you click here, it will take you on a direct link to the Seesaw website. Or if you're not comfortable sharing your artwork online, you're welcome to answer these questions on your own. Up next will be my demonstration on how to make the artwork for this video. Okay, I'm going to walk you through some of the steps in creating this art piece. So what you will need absolutely will be 2 pieces of paper. If you only have one, what you could do is you could fold it in half and cut it in half to get 2 pieces of paper. Now, second grade, we have already been working on our weaving project and we are going to follow the same steps here. Let me walk you through them again. On these 2 pieces of paper, I want you to reflect on your time at home. How does it make you feel? What are some of the words that popped up in your head? We're going to be collecting some of those words that are coming up in your head now and putting them on this paper. Good or bad? This time is maybe a little scary because sometimes we don't know everything that's going on. Maybe this time is creative because you're having to find a lot of ways to have fun. Maybe I could think of my favorite game to play or my favorite book to read. I've brainstormed a few words, and now here's where we get to have a little bit of fun. You're welcome to decorate these words with any colors that you would like, any designs that you would like, any patterns you would like. Go ahead and add some color or some cool patterns to your 2 pieces of paper. Maybe I'm using colors that describe how I feel too. I know I'm using a lot of cool colors. Okay, I've got my 2 papers covered in designs and covered in words. So what I'm going to do now is start to fold. I'm going to start by making my strips first. So I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it in half like a hot dog. So it's long and tall. We're folding it in half like a hot dog. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take, see how this part is the fold and this part is the flap that opens up? We're going to take the flap and we're going to fold our flap halfway back. Halfway back, so our flap is here. If you remember the next step from when we did this in class, what you're going to do is flip it over and you're going to do the same exact thing. So what you should have is a strip like this. Right, if you unfold it a little bit, it kind of looks like an M or a W. And then here's the tricky part. Are you ready, second grade? Show me your muscles. Being super strong, we're going to fold the entire thing in half so it makes a strip like this. And then you're going to unfold the entire thing and you're going to cut all of these lines into strips. We have our strips. We're going to set our pile of strips to the side, and we're going to take our other piece of paper. Now this is going to look a little similar to what we did last time, but it's going to be a little different. We're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it in half, but this time like a hamburger, or as some of you like to say, like a taco. This time it's going to look wider, and it's not going to be as tall. What you're going to do next is the same thing. We're going to find the flap, so the part that flaps open, and we're going to fold it to the fold. So it's going to be about halfway to where the line lines up with the fold. It'll look something like this. And the next step will be flipping it over and doing the same thing to the other side, be this shape. Okay, are you ready? Show me your muscles, second grade. We can do it again a second time. We're going to take the entire thing and use our muscles and fold it in half one more time, just like last time. But now we're going to do something a little different. Are you ready? We're going to unfold it all the way so you see the strips again. This time, we're going to fold it in half like a hot dog. So it will be in half like this. Now I hope some of you guys remember this part too, because this is where we could mess it up. So we have to be very, very, very careful. This part is the fold. This part is the flap. Do we want to cut the flap? No, we only want to cut on the fold. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to show a thumbs up. And we're going to place the flap inside of our thumb, put our thumb down on one of the lines, like this. This part is the foldy part. That's where we're going to cut, or rip if you don't have scissors. Are you ready? So what you want to do, don't hold it like this, hold it the way you're comfortable, but I'm doing this so I can show you. We're going to use the scissors to cut along the line and stop before the thumb. So we don't want to cut off our thumbs, silly gooses. And then we're going to go to another line with our thumb up, tuck it in, and we're going to put it right there on the line. Okay, once again, don't cut off your thumb. Cut to just before your thumb. And you're going to do that so it looks like this on every single line. When you unfold it, we want it to look like this. Here's the next step. We're going to take our strips and we're going to weave them into our paper. So I'm going to try to make it so you can see. Do you see this first flap? If I go above this first flap and I run into this flap, I went above, so now I'm going to go below. I went below this flap and I get to this flap, and now I'm going to go above. I went above this flap, so on this flap I'm going to go below. I went below on this flap, so now I'm going to go above. And I went above, so now I'm going to go below. I went below, so now I'm going to go above. I went above, so now I'm going to go below. And I slide it to the very top. Here, I'll tilt it down so you can see. I'll slide it to the very top. And then I'm going to do my next strip. So, if we look over here where we started, we went above. So that means going down to this part, we're going to go the opposite, below. Alright, so I'm going below. And if I went below, that means the next time I'm going to go above. If I went above, the next time I'm going to go below. Below, above, below, above, below, above. And I'm going to slide it to the very top. Alrighty. Maybe it's hard to see on this side, but there's a checkerboard pattern. If I turn it to this side, I think it's a little easier to see. But because we wove it where it was opposite going down and opposite going across, if we shake it, our strips won't fall out. That's why it's important to weave it correctly. Now, if you have some glue at home, it's always a good idea, just so it's extra secure, to glue the little tabs down on your paper. I want you to have the choice on if you want to turn this into a portfolio or into a sketchbook for your thoughts. Remember, we watched the video about the word collector, and I want you guys to have a space where you can collect your own words about this e-learning experience. So, we have some of the words that we thought of about working at home here and now. Maybe some thoughts are going to come to you later, and you're going to want to have a place to store them as you collect your words and your thoughts. So I'll show you one way, which is the portfolio. If you'd like to make a portfolio, take your beautiful weaving project, fold it in half like a hamburger, and you can either staple or glue or sew these two sides together. So maybe I take some glue, and I'd glue these two sides together, or I could use my stapler, and if you open up the pocket, you can put notes of your thoughts on the inside. If you'd like it to be the sketchbook, you're welcome to do the same strategy and then take some other papers that you fold in half, and maybe you can staple or glue them on the inside. Or what we did with our sketchbooks in the older grades, which you guys will do in a year or two, you could hole punch these two holes. You could hole punch holes here and use an old shoelace or some string to tie the papers in together. Whichever strategy is easier for you and the supplies you have at home will give you a space to use this supply. And if you don't have staples or glue or any of those things, you can always add words and designs to your front or to the back of your weaving project. Because just like the character in the video collected words, we can collect words and turn them into art. Because a lot of art is when artists collect words, memories, and experiences about where they are. Where you live affects how you live. For artists, where you live affects how you make art. I hope you are able to find creative ways to turn your words into an art piece. And I hope this gave you a great way to express how you are feeling during this time. I want you to know I miss you and love you all so much, and I will see you to make art again next Wednesday.